You ever notice how sometimes a day you've dreamed about for years, the kind of day you picture down to the last handshake, the last proud look, can flip in a split second and show you the ugliest side of the world? Yeah, that's exactly what happened to me, Solomon Drayson, at my own son's graduation. I'm standing there in my marine dress blues, blood trickling down my face, with half the auditorium watching, security closing in, except, suddenly, they're the ones looking nervous. Why? Because my brothers, 6 men I bled and sweated beside in combat, rose up behind me, quiet as ghosts, medals glinting, Navy SEAL insignias front and center. That's the only time I've ever seen a head of security go pale in a room full of people. Let me back up a sec, because this story, like most battles, didn't start with the first punch. It started with pride and hope, just me and my wife Vanessa in our tiny bedroom. I'm lining up my ribbons, she's straightening my collar, and I can tell she's proud but tense. "Remember the winter concert?" she says, eyes heavy. Of course I remember, being tailed by security the whole night, feeling like a trespasser at my own kid's school. But today's supposed to be different. Today, my son Tyron, one of 7 black students in a class of 120 at Westridge Academy, is graduating with honors. Vanessa worries, but I reassure her, the guys will be there. By the guys, I mean my family, 6 SEAL team brothers, every race, every walk of life, scattered across the country, who promise to stand with me. Tyron appears, tall, nervous in his cap and gown. He asks, "How do I look, Dad?" And I tell him, like a man with the world at his feet. We load up our old sedan and drive past all the Bentleys and Beamers parked on immaculate lawns. I see the glances, the whispers, families clutching their pearls in their programs, wondering who let us in. My wife squeezes my hand. I remind myself, it's about Tyron. Security at the door is already suspicious. They scrutinize my invitation, ask if it's my first time here. I say, my son's been here 4 years. We get waved through, but I know the drill. Inside, the place is all chandeliers and fancy suits. We take our seats near the front. Maybe a mistake, maybe a little mercy from the seating gods. My old comms guy Rodriguez is there, signals from across the room. 2 more teammates filter in, one by the exit, one at the back, as casual as they can manage. Yeah, we know how to cover a room. But even before the ceremony starts, you can feel it in the air: too many guards, too much watching. Security keeps circling. Nearby, I catch snatches of conversation. First those scholarship students, now look at the crowd. Standards, tradition, comfort, all those code words that mean not us. Still, I keep my focus on Tyron, remembering every sacrifice it took for him to make it here. They announce extra credential checks for everyone's safety. Right, except they only move toward families who look like mine. A heavy-set man bumps into me, no apology. Vanessa is tight-lipped. "Focus on Tyron," she whispers. I nod, but when a black dad sits beside us and quietly warns, "They removed a father last year for nothing," my stomach knots up. I spot a senator I know, Whitman, the guy who once questioned if black soldiers deserve the same honors as their white counterparts, conferring with security. The threat assessment is escalating. Tyron texts me, "Dad, security's asking weird questions. Should you wait outside?" And for a moment, I really have to weigh it. Step back to protect him, or stand my ground and risk making his day worse. Another parent shows me his phone. His daughter, backstage, is getting the same questions. We're all being profiled. Every one of us. A school official comes up and suggests I step outside for everyone's comfort. The threat is clear: cooperate, or your son pays the price. But I've done nothing wrong, and I say so, calmly but firm. They hint Tyron's processional could be delayed if I don't comply. I refuse, call my attorney quietly. My teammates, scattered around the auditorium, start filming, documenting years of silent coordination paying off. Security gets more aggressive. 3 guards approach, claim multiple complaints about my behavior. When I ask for specifics, they get flustered. One mentions my military background as a security concern. That's rich, 24 years serving this country, and now that's a reason to treat me like a threat. Vanessa starts recording. Parents are staring now, some clearly supportive, others not so much. Headmaster gets on the mic, talks about decorum and security, all but naming me. The guards move in. One reaches for my arm. I step back. Tell him, "Don't put your hands on me. I'm not leaving my son's graduation." My brothers, Rodriguez, Fisher, Chin, Ortiz, Brody, Reynolds, stand up, close and around me, IDs out. White, black, Asian, Latino, united, everybody sees it. For a split second, nobody moves. Security consultant realizes what's happening and quietly tells the head to stand down. Whitman's face drains of color. He knows my team's connected in ways that could hurt him. The crowd's gone dead silent. Headmaster tries to regain control, but it's too late. Phones are out, live streams are rolling, and in that moment, the truth's laid bare for everyone to see. My lip is split, blood on my uniform, but I'm standing tall. My son rises, diploma in hand, and in front of the whole school says, "Excellence isn't just about achievement, it's about dignity under pressure." "Thanks, Dad." Several students give subtle salutes, his peers quietly showing respect. The board chair, Catherine Lawson, takes the mic, apologizes for the school's failure, promises an independent investigation. Whitman tries damage control, but nobody's buying it. By the end, the whole story's viral. Local news, national news, hashtags, civil rights groups weighing in. Security is put on leave. The headmaster takes medical leave. I get a call to help reform school policy. The 6 guys who stood with me start a mentorship program for kids like Tyron, silent warriors. Tyron heads to MIT, tells me later, "What happened at graduation is shaping how I carry myself every day." Whitman's son, Andrew, asks to join our mentorship circle, wants to be part of the solution, not the problem. Weeks later, I'm speaking at the Naval Academy about dignity, leadership, and brotherhood that crosses every dividing line this country's ever drawn. If you've ever seen someone stand up with dignity against discrimination, or wished you could have been that ally, let me know in the comments. Like this story if you believe that brotherhood and courage aren't about politics or color, but about refusing to let fear or prejudice win. Share it if you want someone you love to remember that. Even when the world tries to put you in your place, you don't have to stand alone. Sometimes the most powerful answer isn't anger or retreat. It's standing tall, surrounded by those who know what's right and aren't afraid to show it.